Hey everybody, it's finally that time. I know you guys have been waiting for so long for this and I apologize for that. But I'm just going to dive right in and start showing you exactly what these guides are all about. Um, there are two guide windows, the big guide window and the small guide window. I'll talk about the small guide window in a few minutes, but let's look at the big guide window first. All right. Now, when you first log into WoW, the guides will show up in the middle of your screen, and the box you're gonna see is this box right here. It's what I call the big guide window. This window is going to make it really easy for you to navigate through sections of the guide and allow you to find a certain spot in the guide a lot easier because you can just scroll through the steps as you can see on the video. It's just going to make it really easy for you to find a certain spot that you're trying to find because you can navigate really easily. There is a drop down menu at the top of this window which is where you can actually navigate through the sections of the guide. So if you click on any of these sections, it'll take you directly to that section, and then you'll be able to scroll through the steps. But definitely will make it very easy for you to navigate through the guide. We're going to go back to Drani 113 for this example. And to the right of this drop down menu there's a checkbox labeled show all dots. Now if you check this box, it's going to show all of the map dots of the guide on your mini map as well as on your world map. And some people like it like this, which is why we gave you the option. But if you have all the dots shown on your map like this, it's not going to be hard to find exactly where you need to go, because the current guide step has a dot that has a white ring around it, so you'll know exactly where you need to go right then, and it won't be hard to find on the map. And underneath, we're gonna uncheck that actually. Underneath the drop down menu is where the guide steps are displayed in the big guide window right here. It's pretty self-explanatory. You can click on each step and the highlighted map note will change. As you can see, it moved on the mini map over here, and it'll move again and again. So as you click on these steps, it'll move the actual map note, and also as you click on the steps, you can see that the past steps that you've completed or clicked past get grayed out, so you can see what you've already done easier. And towards the bottom of the big guide window, you can see some more information that's listed over here. See, we have location, and that's going to be the actual guide, not the guide, the actual map zone that the current guide step is in. So Drani 113, that's going to be location Azure Mist Isle, which is where we are if you look on the map up here. Alright, and current level, which is the level your character should be while performing the selected guide step. And current step displays the step number in the current guide section that the current guide step represents. Okay, so this is step 1 of Drani 1 through 13. Okay, and at the very bottom right is the options button, which you can click to access the options menu right here. But I'm going to close out. We're going to talk a little bit more about that later on. Now let's move on to the small guide window. To access the small guide window, you can click the down arrow button at the top right of the big guide window. And so let's go ahead and do that. And there is the small guide window, so we'll move that over here. Okay, and this is where the guide really shines, in my opinion. So here's the guide window, and at the top left you can see the current guide section that you're in. So we're in Drani 1 through 13, and then just below that are the left and right arrow buttons, which you can use to cycle through the steps. And notice as we cycle through the steps, the arrow underneath my character moves to point at the new location. Okay, And also, I want to make it clear, you can move this arrow. You can put it up here. Some people have put it up there, to the left, to the right, on your head. I just prefer it at my feet. So, there we go. And at the top right, you can see the current level, location, and step, as I just covered in the big guide window. It's the same thing in this window. Just letting you know that information. And right below the all of this is the actual guide step text, and just displayed just as it is in the big guide window for you to read. It's just in a smaller, compacted little area, so you can see more of your screen. It doesn't take up as much space. But this is where it starts getting really cool. I mean, I think this is pretty sweet. Directly below the guide step text, right here, you see Magellan kneeling next to a crystal light post. This is the actual detailed information taken directly from the map dots. So if you come up here and hover your map dot, or you hover your mouse over the map dot, you can see it's the same information. Magellan kneeling next to a crystal light post. So it's taken right off the map and put right into the guides. It used to be that you had to hover your mouse over these map dots in order to read that information. So those days are over, and every little detail, I mean every little bit of information that you could possibly need in order to level very quickly is put right into this guide window for you. Alright? And to top all of that, this is the granddaddy benefit of them all. This is nuts. If you're extremely lazy, like me, and you just really don't feel like having to click to the next guide step, there is hope for you. 99.99% of the steps in these guides are completely automated, meaning it detects key objectives in each guide step, and once you've completed the objectives, it'll automatically skip to the next step in the guide. So you don't have to click next to go to the next step. You just keep following the instructions and keep leveling fast. Although I say 99.99% because there are a handful of steps in the guide that we were unable to automate because we just couldn't find a way. We're still working on that, so hopefully we can get them automated for you. But there's only a small handful. The majority, like I said, 99.99% of the guide steps in these guides are automated for you.